The biggest concern for us on behalf of supermarkets is getting the same quality, affordable food on the shelves on March 30th. It's a particularly bad time of year in terms of managing our logistics, because that is the time of year when we are importing more because we're not producing so much seasonally here in the UK. It's also 2 weeks from Easter, which is a pretty peak time for consumers and for retailers to stock up. So it's a very difficult time. We're very concerned about getting vehicles across the border, particularly through Calais, which is a real pinch point for us. And the other point that's of real concern to us is we don't know yet what's going to happen in terms of tariffs and whether they will be levied and what impact that would have on the food that we sell.
So it's the delays on the lorries that
Yes.
is at that moment that is your worry?
That's a real concern for us, because at that time we are probably near enough at peak period for importing fresh produce before we switch over to UK. So if you think of some of these products, they're things like salad lettuces, tomatoes, soft fruit, very perishable things that really need to move 24/7 quickly across the border to the stores.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. McTague.
I think the single thing that we're most worried about is the lack of transition arrangements. It's true to say that when we've looked at groups of small businesses, that over the time since the referendum, there's been progressively a tendency to tune out of the whole debate, so that there was a sort of a heightened level of interest in the early days. And as this process has gone on and seen more and more obscure, they've tuned out. And that we recently tried to test the level of engagement with this process recently, and we found that 86% of small businesses had made no preparations at all for a no-deal Brexit.
Is that, do you think, because they don't think it's going to happen, or they don't know what to do?
I think it's the latter. They don't know. They don't know what to do. I think one guy put it to me, I think quite well. He said, "It's a bit like being asked to sort of prepare for a move of your business to Narnia. You know, what is it like? I don't know what this place is like. How do I make preparations for it?" Some people say it's good. Some people say it's not so good. But one thing's for sure, they don't know what to do. And when they know clearly what to do, our worry is that if it's no deal, it'll be far too close to that cliff edge.
And can I ask you, has the publication of the technical notices over the summer, in the three groups that they've been brought out in, has that assisted at all?
Well, when we looked at the technical notices, and we spent the time sort of going through them line by line, what we found was that they were almost impenetrable for the average small business. So what we've done is we produced a hub on our website, which is completely open to any small business, right, which puts it in pretty well, we believe, understandable terms, so that any small business can determine for themselves what they think the impact of that will be.
Do you represent any small businesses in Northern Ireland, by the way?
Yes, we do. We cover the whole of the UK.
Yeah, because there was that one particular notice which said, if you're not quite sure, give the Irish government a ring, which I'm not quite sure how you would go about that, and maybe your members are in the same position.
I don't think we included that in our hub.
You have not included that in your hub.